The problem I saw was, I think I mentioned this when we were talking last time. Teofimo always shows up on certain fights, like the Josh Taylor fight. I had written him off. I was like, man, he's gonna lose to Josh Taylor. Beats the crap out of Josh Taylor all 12 rounds. Lomachenko, I didn't think he was ready for Lomachenko. Looked great in that fight. And this fight, back against the wall again, he's talking all this jazz. And I'm thinking Barboza, he's hungry. He's finally got the big fight. And he got there. Fight. I feel like I don't know if he just, I don't know how his conditioning was, but it just didn't look like the same Barboza up in there. It just didn't, And Teo looked good, but they're yelling, you're playing with your food. Like, I thought Teo could have got him up out of there. But Teo kind of was holding his punches after he got cracked a couple times, So, but Teo looked real good in that fight.
Yeah, no, Teo looked, he was dominating. He should have been the main headline, not Ryan Garcia. He landed early, often, and even though, like you said, that there was that right hand early on that caught Lopez's attention, and that's when you realized that he was dominating, and he started being a little more careful. But he was still thoroughly dominating. Used his speed, his footwork, executed combinations, and just had the pace that Barboza just for some reason couldn't keep up with. Even though I think we all picked the upset, so we all thought that Barboza was going to be more game than he was. But no, Teo did thoroughly dismantle him in this fight. Skywalker, you got some other
reason for me picking Barboza too, man, was because he was riding on momentum, riding off a good victory off Catterall. He's always wanted that fight, ever since Top Rank. He's always been calling out Teo. But I honestly think that, Barboza, he's a great fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. You got to be quicker than him, and that's one thing I noticed. Teofimo's more athletic. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. Like he's got the more athleticism, I think. In that fight, he still fought a smart fight, but just Teofimo's, it's way too quick, bro. You know what I mean? So
it was like
Teofimo didn't look good his last fight, so that was my reasoning too. His last fight didn't look like this fight either. So,
Omar, you look at the chat.
Sorry, no, it was not.
Tighten up, buddy.
No. Well, I'm making sure I get for the next card. Calm down.
No, the private chat, fool.
No, I know. I see you. I got it.
Not me. Papa Tune's waiting.
I see him. Yeah, no, I was
okay. All right.
We'll get him in here. It'll be okay. All right.
Yeah, one guy called out Rolly, man. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know who was in the chat last time, but we had a guy predict Rolly. I don't know if you guys
in Champ Ross's thing or on the
channel? Here in our channel, man. That night we were talking about upsets. We had someone. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got someone else coming in that wants to give some good analysis on this fight. Clipperty, go ahead and hit him with his catchphrase, please.
Oh, we all know him. You know him. You love him. Heavy on the Poppy, light on the Yayo. No other than Poppy Tune Yayo.
Boom.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh
man, what's cracking, fellas?
Hey, fresh cut. Got the nice red press shirt on, the gold. Oh, you got cornrows going. Okay, I like it.
Oh yeah, old lady, she be doing it up.
There you go. Got the Cartier shades on. You know what I'm saying? Look like Marcy Projects in the 90s.
Shit. Everything made is Chinese. Everything is Chinese.
Chinese.
Yes, sir. You already know it. So yeah, let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, everything Papi Chunyeyo. Facebook coming soon. Had some issues there, so you just sit tight. We got some dope material we're gonna be dropping. Tons of it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, just to catch up on some comments here, Coach Chading, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Troy, Big Troy. Yes, we saw at the seeing you representing. We appreciate you coming through. Daniel and everybody from Let's Talk Sports. Thank you, everybody tuning in from the Let's Talk Sports YouTube channel. Roberto Villa, Ryan Garcia needs to get his head out of his ass. Canelo's fight was a snooze fest, which is not a typical Canelo fight. Yes, and we will get into both of those fights in just a minute. Give us one moment. Gold member Hector Barboza should have headlined that card. You're sarcastic. CT, shout out. Thank you. Yes, everybody hit that like button if you're watching. We appreciate it. It's free.
Appreciate you. It's free.
Papi Chunyeo, yes, sir. CT says a lot about the sport when 118-pound fight harder than the big names. Talking about Inoue.
Oh no, it's deeper than that.
Go ahead.
Deeper than that, Playboy. Shoot, hey, what? Heavyweights threw twice as many punches as the lightweights and the welterweights.
That
So you want to explain that one?
Hey, shout out to F and yeah, man, that was a good fight.
Yeah, hey, y'all remember what I said about the cards, right? They're not B- fighters.
Yeah.
So now that you're on that, I'll go ahead, Cobra. Yeah.
I'm just saying you got to have two dance partners, and if one person wants to dance and they want to dance circles around them, you got to cut them off a little bit. You know what I mean? And it seemed like two people just want to break dance all night, and the other people just want to watch them break dance, which is
I knew it was trouble when I seen some middleweights in there, and there was a lot of room to move around. I said, "Oh God, wait till the little guys get in there."
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and hit the people with what you think. Shout out Boxing Mania. Thank you.
Oh, that's my bro. Four corners, salute.
So yeah, we were just talking about the Teofimo Lopez Arnold Barboza fight. So give us your thoughts, Papi.
Trash.
Nope.
I expected a lot more from Barboza, honestly. I just want to make sure I'm keeping it even across the board. If we say somebody's moving around the ring and they're boxing and not getting hit, then the same statement has to apply all the way across the board. So with that being said, all three of them fights was the same fights, and all three of them was trash. T.O., I can't stand that motherfucker. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. It's personal with me. You can't say the things that you said and then get checked about it and walk it back and then come back and say some more for the clout. That's not necessary. So I don't like the dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a clout chaser. And but with that being said, T.O. is mad athletic. We knew that. We know that. He's been in the ring with some great fighters. Unfortunately, he boxes to the level of, his competition, and sometimes his competition just look a little bit better, to be honest. So Barboza was my sleeper in the division. I always thought he had what it takes to to get the job done, but you need the right type of dance partner. T.O. was, he was in and out. He barely engaged, you know what I'm saying? Didn't throw a whole lot of punches, did a whole bunch of styling, you know what I mean? But ultimately, T.O. won, I definitely picked Barboza to win. I picked Barboza by split decision, I believe.
All of us did. All five of us picked Barboza. And we all thought, like we said, Barboza, like Skywalker said, Barboza, he thought had the momentum. We all thought he was going to be game or more game at least for this fight. And also, as Skywalker said, Teofimo, he didn't feel as well on his last performance that it was that great. So he wasn't really expecting much. I think we are all along those same lines. Clubber D, I think you were wanting to say something.
Oh, no, I'm good. I was agreeing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah. So not the great fight that we wanted, but Teofimo at least we know should be back to regular form after that last fight, or at least we hope so going forward. All right, cool. So let's move into the other two fights of that evening. First, we'll start with the Devin Haney unanimous decision over Jose Ramirez, 119-109 on two cards, 118-110 on one card. Obviously, a complete shellacking. Clubber D, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, it was lackluster. This isn't what I want to see out of Devin Haney. It's not the normal Devin Haney we saw. And yes, he was out the ring, and we all know why. And PTSD, shell shock, that's all a real thing. I think he waited too long. He should have maybe a tune-up fight maybe 6 months ago. The footwork, yes, I get it, but you're gonna have to stand and stand on business sometimes in the ring. And he's always had good footwork. He's always had good technique, but I've never really seen him move around just like this and not really throw. But then again, Ramirez likes to throw, so that was a perfect opponent for him to kind of showcase his skills. And Ramirez didn't throw. Ramirez didn't cut the ring off. So I think it was just basically mixing Kool-Aid with salt. It didn't work out well. You know what I mean? So he got the dub. It was lackluster to me. I mean, I'm glad to see him back in the ring, I just wish he threw a little bit more punches. But yeah, he's okay. I can't praise him and then knock the person who fights after him down without keeping it 100. So.
Mm-hmm. So per CompuBox, the pair threw the fourth fewest punches thrown in the history of 12-round fights at any weight class. And each fighter landed less than 100 punches throughout the entire 12 rounds. That's pretty wild. Less than 100 punches each. Skywalker, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Oh, this wasn't the Devin Haney that we've seen fight Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? It was both fighters, man. Ramirez himself, no offense, no output, a lot of moving around. I guess if you want to give any kind of praise or positivity, is Devin Haney didn't get touched up this fight like last fight, right? But damn, man, that was really criticized. Same thing with the main event. The whole card, like Ernest was saying, is trash. And we want to see punches thrown. This is boxing, and yeah, we understand the sweet science. But even Shakur, man, he at least throws fucking punches on the back foot. You know what I mean? And I didn't see no. And Haney's known for having a rocket jab. Like we didn't get that jab. I wasn't expecting Haney to perform like this. A lot of people are saying it's PTSD, it's shell shock. The first 2 rounds, I had to get corrected because I thought, like something was totally off, and it was his shoes. The damn shoe strap came undone.
Back to back.
Yeah, it had him moving around all like he'd never been in a fight before. You know what I mean? And it had me tripping. I didn't know at first. I was like, damn, what the hell's wrong with Haney? Like, yo, what did Ryan do to him? Like, did he give him, like, did he really mess him up for life? Like, this guy can't fight good anymore. It's not, cause I've always liked Haney, as far as the Lomachenko fight, that was a chess match right there. You're in, love the sweet science. That's one of the, that's a really good fight, man. It was hard to score. A lot of people, big controversy with the scoring, you know what I mean? And it was a great fight by both, right? And this wasn't the same Devin Haney at all. So,
well, let me add on to the horribleness of what I just told you a little earlier. Devin Haney landed 70 punches in the fight. Jose Ramirez landed 40. But even worse, Dan Rafael added, Haney never landed more than 9 punches in a round, and Ramirez never more than 6 in a round.
Crazy.
Poppy, what do you think about this?
Honestly, I really like to be fair and objective and call stuff down the middle, but there have been a whole lot of Mexicans out there hating on black people for them. And I really want to just tell y'all how I really see it. But I saw how it went down. The fight was trash. The shit was terrible. All 3 fights. The fact that the commentators were, they found some of the most egregious. Oh, this is the lowest output since the dawn of man, since, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, all 3 fights are probably ranked right next to each damn other. But the commentary is the problem, right? They're not calling things right down the middle. They have a vitriol. They're biased. They're leaning towards, so on and so forth. The whole promotion was trash. You know what I mean? But let me say this, right? So before Devin and Shakur, they were ranked right up there with the people who get hit the least out of all boxers. They're right up there, right? So him not getting hit more than 6 times per round is not surprising. That's how you hit and don't get hit. Number 2, Ramirez is probably the hardest, heaviest puncher that Devin has been in there with, right? Ramirez is known to knock shit out. You feel me? He definitely goes in there and gets people up out of there. And that's the toughest dude that Devin's been in the ring with. Honestly, I want to give him credit for that. So when Devin was boxing, it was like, dang, why don't we just stand there and trade? He's pillow fisted. He ain't got no hands. So he stands and trades with somebody who's supercharged, and he gets his shit beat up. He got beat up. He got beat up by somebody who was, on that stuff. So Honestly, I'm happy for Devin. I'm glad he got back in the ring. I'm glad he got the ability to, go and do whatever, even though the promotion, everybody was talking about him the whole time. Even fighters that were fighting each other was talking about Devin like that. It just didn't make any sense, bro. The promotion was trash. Honestly, and I don't know. What does Devin do? Right? So let's say Devin and Ryan can still run it back. They didn't mess the bag up. It's enough Mexican people that hate enough black people, enough black people who want to get at the Mexican people for us to go ahead and do it. Run it back. But if the supercharged Ryan is gone, he's gone, fellas. Hey, and we don't need no more than 3 months. We don't need to wait 6 months and let somebody get enough time to get on that stuff and get hot. Let's go right now. 3 months. I didn't take no damage. You got your ass whooped by Rolly, who probably has a phenomenal resume, by the way.
You think about it, he does.
Yeah, Rolly was the best fight of the weekend. Yeah, that's what we're saying right now. Cinco de Mayo, Rolando was the best fight.
Happy Easter.
You ain't wrong about that, actually, and that's a beautiful segue. So we're going to let you start that off. Garcia versus Romero, unanimous decision. On the cards, we had Romero 115, 112 on 2 cards, and Romero 118, 109 on 1 card. He also knocked down Garcia early in the second. Yayo, what are your thoughts on that fight?
He. Double left hook, baby. Down goes Garcia. Wasn't Rose supposed to watch out for the left hook? He was, right? Yeah, listen, man. What we saw was a shell of what we saw from Ryan previously. Ryan basically is the king of, I don't know, YouTube boxing. Like, I think I feel like the winner of this card or the losers of this card are supposed to go and join Jake Paul. That's how I feel about it. I don't like Ryan Garcia is not forgiven. Period. He's not forgiven. He went too far, and that's how I feel about it. I used to have respect for him. I used to be like, okay, Cole, what he did with Luke, you know what I'm saying? When he got knocked down, got up and beat a champion. I thought that was great work, and I thought it was looking up for him. But then it's money, it's antics, it's racism, it's divisive. So basically, I just think Ryan was trash. And this is what we can expect from him. And I still want to see him Devin at it.
All right, Skywalker, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Man, Rolly stayed quiet the whole time during this camp, and it wasn't the same Rolly, right? And yeah, it just tripped me out, man. Not the same Ryan Garcia either. Same as Haney. Like, went in there, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this, right? Second round, he's down. Rolly hit him with that double left, made them noises with it. Rolly, yeah. Rolly put that noise on him, and what a trip, man! What a trip of a start of the boxing weekend that we had, man. That was Friday, and shout out to Rolly, man. Rolly handled the win with humbleness, and fuck yeah. You never know in boxing. That's the thing with boxing, man. And just a tripped out night. People didn't perform how you expected them to perform. The fans not being there, I think that kind of played a part of it. Some people are blaming the Ulsterine. A lot of people.
Ulsterine and Angelone, whatever it's called.
Yeah, a lot of people are blaming that. I don't know what I believe Ulcerine's a weight cutter, anyways. But it wasn't the same Ryan. During the build-up, it was a quiet Ryan, not the shit-talking Ryan that goes in and whoops some ass, right? So something was off. Off night for Devin, off night for Ryan. I still want to see the rematch. Man, tripped out night, man.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, Skywalker, Garcia, right before he got knocked down, he was working his jab, but once he got caught by Romero there with that hook, he just started Clubber D, he just started fighting at a slower pace. Even his corner was like trying to urge him to pick up the pace, but it was just like he wasn't. What do you think?
He felt that power. You know what I'm saying? There's the old saying in boxing, you hook with a hooker, and that's what Rolly did. He hooked, gave him that left hook twice, and he went to the ground, felt the power. Leading up to the fight, I thought Rolly looked at that weight class. He actually, because he talked about going to 147 probably like 2 fights ago, and he actually looks like fulfilled at 147, even back when he fought a tank at 135. So I think Rolly's it's a combination of Rolly being in a proper weight class that he should be in, and Ryan Garcia taking Rolly a little bit lighter. And I don't know the type of training Derek James is doing with him. I know Derek James is a good trainer, but it's like he's not reacting to what he's saying for him to do in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he got hit, felt the power, and he's like, oh shit, I need to see if I can just survive. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan has the potential if he puts his mind to it, I think. But you got to put your mind to it. He's big outside the ring, and that's amazing. But in the ring, you don't know what you're going to get. And this is the first fight in 4 or 5, I think maybe 3 or 4 that he's made weight. So the weight cut isn't a factor for this fight. So what is the excuse? You've been out for a year, but that's for your own doing. So let's take accountability for that. Don't cry about that. So, I feel like even Turkey Al-Sheikh was standing up telling Ryan to throw punches. I'm sure Ryan can bounce back. Him and Devin should run it back, but running back next, I don't know, because I don't know if people want to see that right now. If Ryan would have knocked Rolly out in the second, third round like we all expected, then yeah, they were, oh yeah, and seeing Devin's performance, then yeah, I would, I'd be, oh, Devin, you better get your ass whooped. But you saw the type of Ryan Garcia we saw, so who was going to want to see that third fight or second fight? But you can't hype it up the same way.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, you can't necessarily with a loss, but I do agree with Yayo when he stated that fight is still a legitimate rematch that we need to see. Whether or not there's a little bit of shine knocked off of Garcia or Haney for these performances, from what we saw the last time they fought, especially for Haney and Haney fans, they need to see him get that redemption against Garcia. It may be a little less for Garcia, but I think the arc is still the same, considering he got suspended after that fight. So that's not a good look either, and he needs to come back from that too. I actually think it's the perfect fight to put together, both of them using that redemption arc story to kind of have them match up. But I do agree, Clubber D, that obviously, with these kind of performances, a little bit of shine is knocked off.
Hey, I want to say something about something that I don't know if I haven't heard too many people talking about, the energy. Like, we on our other show, we talk about, the environment that people are fighting in. And it just, I feel like some fighters feed off the crowd and the energy that's provided. But the way that setup was crazy. I was waiting to see if they were shutting the city down. They wasn't shutting down. They set up a boxing ring on the sidewalk off to the side. You know what I'm saying? And then the fans couldn't even see it. You know what I mean? So that's what's missing. The energy. Yes, Turkey has given us a lot of the fights that we want to see, and a lot of these fights are underwhelming. And also the energy is wrong in the place because you don't got people getting rowdy over there at Riyadh season. It's awkward, man. Like you got to get back to the essence of the sport, the fans and the energy that they provide for the fighters.
It's always, it's always something when you got Elmo and Tupac and Hulk Hogan as ring card girls.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're completely right though, because even if you remember back in the NBA when they had the bubble in Disney, it was such a different experience for both players and other fans watching on TV.
Yes. They had Diddy Party Boy Ring Boys.
Oh man.
Hey, but that's how they get down to Times Square. You got the Times Square Elmo, the Spider-Man, the Batman, the Wonder Woman who's a man.
I'm like, man, get this out of here. What are they doing, man?
They say Diddy slid a kite over to his lawyer and said, "Hey, man, I need to see Hulk Hogan on the
thing." Great. Let's catch up on some comments here. Marziak, thank you for tuning in. Salute. We appreciate you. Roberto Villa, what are your thoughts on Dana White promoting Canelo versus Crawford? And I mean, anybody have thoughts on this? Obviously, they're now all conglomerated together.
It's the easy way for them to start off their Dana White's boxing, things. Easy fight. Dana White's not gonna have to do much. We already seen the type of movies they do to lead up to the fight. Those little preview things. That was better than the whole Friday card. So they don't have to do much. I mean, I don't think Dana does. So this is just served on a platter for Dana White.
Okay.
Yeah, just a big fight, man. Mega fight to start the promotion, and this makes sense. You know what I mean? So pretty cool.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, I'm not so. This is Steve Kerr inheriting Golden State Warriors.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's what this is. This is Steve Kerr inheriting the Golden State Warriors. They already ready.
I mean, look, as much as I hated that for Mark Jackson,
Mark Jackson's hot right now.
That's so screwed in that. But the thing is, like, if Steve Kerr, are you really turning that down if you're given that?
No.
Hey, can't fault the man, right? Hate to play it. Game not to play. I don't. Let's see. Thoughts on Raymond Murataya from Goldmember, and let's see. Right.
And that pay scale gonna change up a whole lot.
You ain't lying.
It's gonna change up a whole lot. Dana don't give out bread like that. He said
play.
we can get into litigation. I'll take you.
Give out knockout bonuses? Is that how it's gonna kind of like the UFC does? They're gonna give them bonuses when they have a good ass fight.
They leaked something, but I don't know what the actual pay scale, because I don't see them paying champions. Was it 300,000, 400,000 or 500,000? Paying like non-ranked fighters, like the fighters just getting in. That's cool. Like 30,000. That's actually a lot of money if you not really ranked. But then it's like it was like a scale from like 30 to 100, and then like I think 800 or 700 for like the most. But I don't know if that's real. I don't think that can't be real.
I mean, I would have some kind of system similar though, like some kind of performance incentive bonuses and stuff. I think they'll probably work something like that. Roberto Villa, everybody is Mexican on Cinco de Mayo, just like everybody is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. You know what I mean? Gabriel Padilla, salute. Thank you for tuning in. MK9 says salute Skywalker. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey man, okay, so listen, man, I know this is left field. So if the girls go over to Dubai and over to the Saudi and they, the instant thoughts and they, for the 100K they get the wet ones on them. What are the dudes doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are the dudes doing? Because you get what I'm saying. Y'all
I'm with you.
Oh, you got what you're saying.
So I seem to remember a time when the Kinahan thing was cooking real hot, right? And Bud and all these fighters were going over to Saudi to have these meetings and we see the result of what the meetings were. You know what I mean? But what they doing, bro?
It's a Diddy party.
I put it like this. I've been over there, and you go to certain spots. Like hotels and stuff, and at the top, that's where all the hookah and all that stuff. You can kiss their culture out the window. It's a normal club. You know what I mean? In certain spots. When I was over there, it's it just tripped me out when I saw people walk around holding hands. Then I realized their culture is a way of respect you, like your best friend, whatever, like that. I just won't have no friends if I was over there. But it's just they party like us. It's just shunned upon in public.
Right.
Because they're not supposed to be drinking.
Right. Okay. Got that. Salute, Champ Ross. Thank you for running the amazing boxing group that we participated in.
Had a rough week, Champ, but I'm back. I'll be back this week. I had a rough week. I'll be back up in there.
I'm in like the last place this season, so I'm just like whatever. I'm gonna start doing like you said you were doing last year, just throwing darts at the board.
I had a pep. Papa Chunyo gave me a pep talk, and I was like, all right, let me take this thing serious. I was like, because I missed the week because Monster fought like on like 8 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't even thinking, and I was like, oh, my picks, they're already gone. I was like, damn. So I kind of had to eat that, and then after that, I was like, man, fuck it, I'll just do whatever. Now, paying attention, your boy's like top 10, I think. I mean,
I think I'm the only one that picked that Ryan fight to go the distance.
Probably.
I'll have to look at the. I got the scores over here somewhere. I'll check that
I
out.
was like, oh, he's gonna sleep him before 5. I got him in 3.
What do you say the distance? I don't remember who it
I
was.
was one away from Monster. He knocked dude out in the 7th, and I think I picked 8th or something like that. I was like, God dang it!
I was
Man,
one.
listen, man.
I picked Robert Espinoza correct, but Monster, I was 1 round away.
I got Monster.
What happened to your Facebook? Yeah.
Man, bro.
Yeah, Monster.
Here, quick story. My Omega Crystals page is one of my business pages for some of my crystals and things that I collect, and it got hijacked. Yes, it got hijacked, and then all of my people reported it as being hijacked, and then they took down my regular page and said that it didn't. There's like 50, 100 people went and reported my page being down or somebody having my page. Me and my wife's photos are on there. I was doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like. So Facebook goes and takes down my personal page. Bro, we're talking like 20-something years of memories from all types of countries all over the world. You know, people who have passed away, their messages I can't go back and look at anymore. And you got nobody you could call at Facebook to be like, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, with this social media thing, I think that there needs to be some sort of law that prevents them from being able to erase your digital footprint, because that's exactly what that is.
How long ago was this?
This happened about 5 days ago.
Okay, you still have time. You have 30 days to download all your data. You can go in your back settings, and if you go to like My Data, there's a place you can download it, and it'll let you download all your pictures and everything before it's fully deleted. They fully deleted it.
What about the comments and the messages?
I don't know about comments. At least get your pictures and videos back at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about everything, but I know that I had to do the same thing because Clubber D knows. When we first started on Facebook, I started streaming. I got a copyright for playing a song, and they deleted my whole personal Facebook that I had since high school. And so same thing, I lost everything. So, but there is a way to at least download, your pictures and videos and things. So I'll remind me after the show, and I'll get it for you.
That's the troubles with this Facebook and all these other platforms, mixing business and personal, and also, unfortunately, like Isaac Hayes Jr. said, we got to own our own stuff so we can have our own rules. You know what I mean? So
I'm mad about it, but I'm not giving them that sort of power over me. You feel me?
I feel you.
So, like you can delete it, but you can't. I was bald everywhere. You feel me? Like, see everything, bro. Everything. So I did it. You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. I did it. Y'all can take it down, but it happened already.
I feel you.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Gold member says Dana White is going to salivate for foreign boxers. Fight hard and underpaid, sold. I mean, he did that forever, so I can't.
Yeah, he kind of screwed them on some of those like the deals, like the sponsor deals. I think it was like Venom or Tap Out, whoever had the Reebok had the clothing apparel. They had a scale depending where you are on the scale. Like Francis Ngannou, he's just starting out. He's making like 800 a fight. 7,000 a fight, 7,000 win, or 10,000, whatever, and then maybe like 3,000 on sponsor. But back in the days when you see all the different sponsors on their shorts, they made a lot of money because that's individual sponsors for that particular fighter. But he was like, no, screw that, single sourced, and that's why one of the reasons why GSP didn't come back until later, because he was with Under Armour, and Under Armour they weren't letting him put his Under Armour stuff in with Reebok. So that was one of the issues GSP had with Dana White.
Yeah, all those cases are in litigation still to this day.
Yeah, they got that big lawsuit against him, so it's been going on forever. But who knows? They'll get it.
Right. Okay. And so let's go ahead and wait. Oh, here we go. MK9 says Dana White will ruin boxing. A matter of opinion. I guess if he's working together well,
I don't think Turkey will let him do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't think Turkey will. His influencer like this, you guys got to fight, ain't the ultimate fight. These people are already established. You can't. MMA and boxing, if he comes in with a different attitude, because MMA was trying to be something, trying to get to the mainstream, so he had to act the way he acted for them to be where they are now. Boxers, I don't know if he's gonna be able to pull that shit with them. To be honest with you,
everybody's gonna do whatever the hell Turkey tell him to.
Yeah, pretty much.
He gonna grab that hand. Hey, get over here real quick.
Hey, I don't mind grabbing. I don't mind Bud doing that. I don't.
Would you agree though? Like all these fighters, contenders, they make a certain amount of money, right? But the top, right? Like let's say the top 10, top 5, whatever the big money fights, that what you would call them. Let's say they can make above that bracket. That once you become the top, you're rich as fuck. They're gonna load you up because Turkey got the money to bless someone, right? And that'll give everybody like the hunger to fight hard, bro, and whatever kind of tournaments that he has planned, like they should at least bless the top. You know what I mean? So it gives everybody an opportunity to be hungry for that shit.
Asses in seats. That's what the motto is. In Turkey right now, it's kind of like, as long as he puts the asses in seats, he's okay. But even if the product isn't as great, because we're seeing some duds, but we're also seeing some bangers, like like in London 2 weeks. So, I think if he has a bunch of stickers, then he's gonna have a talk with these guys. Look here, you ain't getting all this money. So,
I mean, he already having a talk with him. So Eddie Hearn, Al Heyman, Frank Warren, all these billionaire dudes are like broke people to him.
Oh, it's nothing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what they do to get in good graces with him. I mean, I'm serious. Something had to be done. Something had to be done for people to get into good graces like that.
Man, it's Thanos.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, whatever he want to have done, he can have it done. Period. And unfortunately, it's like one person with all that power definitely has to be responsible about it. They're running an international business. This is not just stateside. So that adds a whole different other perspective. Dana White is good with international business, right? So all of his fighters are international, and he's good with the international side of the game. So maybe that'll just bring more people to us to whoop their ass, because that's what we do here in America. We whoop everybody's ass. Except for the Russians. The Russians, they got a damn good thing going over there with them wrestlers. But for the most part, we put hands on everybody.
You already said he needs a black American heavyweight.
Yeah. It needs to happen organically, though. You can't just go pick somebody. You know what I mean? It needs to happen organically. The ranking systems need to be in play. They need to be in play properly.
So what do we think about this, though? He says Dana and Turkey both don't know how to really deal with putting on great cards and promoting them well. What do we say to this?
Bivol and Beterbiev have had good card. That was a good card.
He's only been doing it for a year now, anyways.
I disagree.
I disagree with that. 5 versus 5. That Warren versus Eddie Hearn. That was a good card.
I disagree wholly.
They put on some decent cards over there, man. They put on some real good cards.
To be honest,
Bud versus Madrimov was a good card. They put on some bangers.
Though the shows that they put on, ring coming out of the floor, 3D laser shows with concerts, bro. You can't get better than that. The promotional videos, the movies, yeah, they killing it.
Joshua Ngannou, that little for playing in the arcade type stuff and all that. I don't know.
Even the Haiti stuff like that promotional they did was dope. The video they produced was dope. It was belittling, but it was dope.
I mean, because of Turkey, we're having good cards now. Dana, I'll agree, because UFC's kind of thin right now, and I'm trying to finish this goddamn short. But UFC's got a problem with stars under the age of 30, unlike boxing. So Dana White got some star building he needs to do ASAP.
Yeah. And also when. Yes, Dana doesn't have the experience, but together with them having the association with TKO, Endeavor, also the WWE, which can be used to be promoted, all this money that's been injected into this company from all these big, huge investment firms, they're going to have the money, the best fighters, put on the best fights, put on all of the, the biggest and best cards. Yeah, the Times Square card, Fatal Fury, was kind of a dud, as we've all alluded to so far. But that doesn't mean that at least he didn't try to put on a spectacle that, a lot of people probably would have wanted to be at, even if the fights weren't as great as we want.
You're gonna fail before you get to where you need to be. So,
and again, he's only been doing it for a little while. Champ says, I think the pay scale for the league is good. Like Skywalker said, make the fighters hungry again. He says they're giving out cars, even though that might be rigged, seeing who wins every time. Yale came back. The cars is bullshit.
Oh, sure.
MK9, what casual fan is tuning in at 3 p.m.? We will be trying to get people together to watch is a lot harder than a nighttime card with action like PBC.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Dude, honestly, man, I heard some people being up. They was like, some dudes got their women to watch the fight because it was supposed to be all that. And they stayed in the house and didn't go out and celebrate or nothing like that just to watch the fights. The dude was like, man, my old lady was like, this what you got me in? We stayed in for this?
Oh, no.
Hey, the story is, man, enjoy your life, bro. Don't.
It was weird to see that card so early though, because I was surprised when I was trying to meet up with Clubber D for karaoke, and I was like, wait a second, the Haney fight is already on. I'm at the restaurant for my mom's birthday. I got the phone on my cup, and I'm like trying to watch the phone while we're having birthday dinner. Damn, why are these fights on so early?
That's why I left to head over to the bar like right after the Barboza fight, the Teofimo fight. I left and I was like, you know what? Then just avoid everything. I'll watch later when I get home, and that's kind of what I did. And we were out Saturday night, and we had the Canelo fight posted up on the phone. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like these fights during the day if it's on the Saturday. I love those overseas fights. I could watch that at 5 o'clock from 12 to or 1 to 5 and have the rest of my night. Oh man, don't let there be a UFC card on later on. Man, that's a perfect day.
We're still at work, kind of just
Fridays. They did that for Ngannou Joshua. Like I literally got home off work and right before the main event, I was about to call Turkey. Look here, bro. Don't be doing that again. All right. I'm just playing Turkey.
Speaking of main event, MK9 says, yeah, don't
I ain't messing with him.
Don't hand away to your front door. And Dana along with Turkey don't care about money taken away. Money, I feel, is only going to make things harder. Almost every star in the UFC has fallen off and gone missing from the main event. Right, but as we just said, though, remember, they have so much money coming in now from all of these different places, including, again, their partnership with WWE in general. Oh, yeah. WWE at WrestleMania had the Fatal Fury in the ring as the main ring logo. That's crazy.
They had fighters. When they had UFC Mexico, they had Rey Mysterio there, Dominic there, Stephanie Valcour, other wrestlers there, and for UFC events. You can see that on Raw. You're gonna see boxers. Terrence Crawford has been to Raw plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna mix and match all these entities together. Don't be surprised. You've seen Terrence Crawford at UFC when they're at the Spear. That's when he confronted Teofimo. So you're gonna see them mixing and matching a lot more. It's just the problem with the UFC. They're stars. They don't really have that many top stars. All their stars are pretty old now, and you gotta wait on John Jones to figure out when he feels like fighting again for that to be a big fight. You know what I'm saying? So UFC's kind of they're wearing thin right now when it comes to their top names, and it charge people $70 freaking dollars. Come on, Turkey, holla at Dana about that.
Right,
that's ridiculous.
But as you mentioned, right, we're waiting for that Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight that we will see in Saudi Arabia.
It's here. It's here.
It's here. Oh, it's at Allegiant. Okay, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, but put on by Turkey Al-Sheikh. So that's at least another. And again, some people, depending on how you feel, who's going to come out with that doesn't really matter. But at least it's a big fight, money fight, a fight that even the casuals will watch. So speaking of Canelo, let's get into that fight that was in Saudi Arabia for the undisputed super middleweight championship between Saul Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull. Very unactive fight, despite Alvarez edging out on the official scorecards. 119-109 on one scorecard, which we all know how that goes when you have the one scorecard that's kind of outlandish. The other two cards, though, 115, 113, 116, 12. Canelo. Yayo, it's been a minute since we came to you. Let's start with you on this fight.
Adelaide Bird. 2 words.
Wait, what's more again?
Adelaide Bird. She was the 114 for Mayweather versus
Right,
Canelo.
right. Yeah, I remember. But did she do the 119,
I
109?
don't know.
No.
I just like
Oh,
this name.
okay.
That name's always in infamy. Always.
Yeah, I like to just bring that name up. Man, listen, I dozed off on the Canelo fight. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Honestly, you know, that fight was a lot like the fights that we saw the night before. And what is the criteria for judging a fight? Is it hit and don't get hit? Is it stand and brawl until you get knocked out? Like, what's the actual criteria? Because you can't say on one end somebody 12-0'd somebody, and then in the other hand somebody else fought exactly like that and they lost. Like, it's crazy. It's very difficult to understand. I remember hearing Canelo or somebody from his team say something like William Scull never even asked for the fight. So again, right, you're the biggest star in boxing, and somebody's surprised to be getting a call from you, and they're not going to engage with you. You know, there is somebody who will engage with you, David Benavidez. Like, that's what we want to see. Anything else is bullshit, bro. And listen, man, all the Mexican fans out there, y'all need to be sick of this shit. Y'all need to want to watch this fight as bad as we do. So let Canelo fight Benavidez and then go off into the sunset. Give him 200. Give him however much he wants. He's a Hall of Famer already. He's done his thing, but we want to see him fight Benavidez. Nobody else. Or better Beeve.
Yep.
Fuck it.
He's 40. He's old now. That's his age range. You get
I don't know,
guys.
man. Listen, Canelo on Cinco de Mayo weekend in Saudi. That don't even make no sense, bro. I felt like I heard some people in the audience yelling Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So clearly they got paid for that because they don't travel like that. They're not.
Oh, he shipped some folks over and they had to pay money, I think. They had to pay some money. He brought about 50, 60 entourage. And they had to stay up for that fight too.
You ain't even allowed to raise your voice over there. They'll put your ass in jail.
Boy.
Why you in the crowd yelling and ain't go to jail?
You're allowed to drink over there. They took that ban off, you know what I'm saying? They did that right before the boxing, but you ain't like you can get rowdy. You can't get rowdy in public over there. Yeah. Your attitude will get adjust quickly.
Non-alcoholic beverages that taste like beer but ain't.
I never, you know what? Do they have ring car girls dressed in whatever over there, or are they covered?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't think they can't be looking a certain way. Like the wrestlers be looking like the female wrestlers when they go over there, they're looking like Rey Mysterio from Halloween Havoc 1998 when he had the Phantom outfit on, like a one piece, like a 90.
Turkey definitely ain't having no pro box type girls over there.
Oh no, man. Oh,
Giant
Gonzalez, WrestleMania.
Shout out Josh, man. We're missing you. Hope you can maybe slide in for at least the last fight. If not, then we appreciate you as always, brother.
Hams hanging out the bottom of them things.
Skywalker, what did you think about this fight?
Yeah,
man, another fight that really didn't live up to it, man. We kind of knew Scull was Cuban. He had that Cuban style of footwork and stuff like that. But man, like Canelo couldn't cut the ring off, couldn't get to him. I'm just tired of seeing people go in and fight Canelo just to survive instead of win. You know what I mean? Like if you're fighting for all the marbles, all the belts, go in there with all your balls, man, because people are gonna talk about you. You know what I mean? You don't fought Canelo. Or at least go in there and fucking go out on your shield, you know, get knocked the fuck out. At least try to beat Canelo, you know, not just run. I'm just getting tired of fucking boring fights, man, too. Tired of runners, you know. Fuck, man. At least throw some punches, man. Like that's sport is throwing punches. Not just running. Fuck, I believe in defense, but damn, man, throw some punches.
Skywalker is pissed. Yeah. Shout out Picasso. Thank you. We appreciate you. Clever team.
I mean, I'm with Skywalker on this. You got to understand, like, for us boxing nerds, fans, people that love the sport, we'll tell our friends, hey, watch this fight, order this joint, watch this fight. And then they're like, you know what? Let me step out of my realm. Let me see why you love this sport. Let me check this out. And then you're gonna watch somebody do the Charleston 3-step around everybody. You know what I'm saying? And not really say it on nothing. And you got to explain to people that aren't into boxing that, like, hey, just uses footwork, likes to get in and out. But usually when you get in, you want to swing a little more and then get out the way. Or then you got to tell them, well, you got to explain, well, Canelo or Ramirez, you have to help him. They have to cut the ring off so he can't do that. And then they might say, well, if this guy's so good, how come he can't cut the ring off? And then you're stuck on stupid, It's 12 rounds of this. I mean, Scull, we all knew what type of, if you ever seen him fight, we knew what he was going to do. And we all know Canelo's footwork ain't that good. It's just not. It never has been. And styles make fights, and the fact that I think what did Canelo land? 56?
Yeah.
You got Haney with 70. You got Canelo with 56.
So if Haney and what's his nuts was the third lowest of all times, and Canelo threw fewer punches, does that make that the second or the first? Which one is it?
I mean,
depending on the complexion for the protection.
Shit. Trash. The boys ain't throw no hands, bro.
Terrible.
Again, we got heavyweights who threw 2 to 3 times as many punches as people in 5 or 6 weight classes less. That don't make no sense.
Brandon Serrano put a post up. I don't know if it's her or her team put a post up, and they had Canelo and Haney's output together, and they put in like a round or two of hers with Katie Taylor. And she was like, wow, I mean, what, 100-some punches or something crazy, And I was like, yeah, that's a fact. And then someone wrote on the comments under, yeah, but you still lost. I was like, damn. I said, I hate the internet.
Okay, so here you go. I've got something here. Okay. Fewest combined punches landed in a 12-round fight. You were correct. Canelo and Scull, 445, lowest ever.
There we go.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that, though. We don't talk about that.
Hey, Lomachenko got to be on a whole bunch of them, too. He was at about 130 punches at like round 7 or 8. He usually is. And
that was my argument with the Haney versus Lomachenko fight, was that you can't win a round by doing a flurry of 3 punches at the end of the round against somebody. You can't if they're doing a steady jab. That was my argument saying why I thought Haney won the early rounds, because Lomachenko didn't do nothing.
Oh, he's downloading information. He's in the matrix. He's going to come out and start doing the damn thing real soon. You know what I'm saying?
He can move around. He could dodge punches, but let us do it. Oh, my God, he's running. What?
Not happening.
So, correction, that was combined punches thrown, not landed. But anyways, it still holds. Punches thrown, 445, Canelo Scull. Number 2, Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, 459. So the heavyweights threw 14 more punches than Canelo Scull. Ibrahimov and Briggs, Shannon Briggs, 473. Garcia and Romero, 490. Haney and Garcia, 499.
Crazy.
There you go. Before we move on to the final fight of the weekend, the Naoya Inoue, I did want to talk about one fight here that was close that we had a good reaction for on the pre-fight. Martin Bakole at a majority draw, 96-94 on the winning card, 95-95 draw on the other 2. Anybody have any thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with F.A. I really was. F.A. was, he was doing what I expected to see somebody like Devin do. Using the stick, using the jab, moving around. Bakole was definitely in shape. He was on walk down mode, but old boy was on his skates, right? Yep. So, but you just don't know how to judge it, bro. Like, so is it okay? Is what F.A. did, is that considered to be okay? Right? He moved around the ring, boxed. He did get walked down quite a bit. That's what Bakole does. But is that considered okay? And if it is, then we need to change up how we judge everybody else's fights, because you just can't call it. Gotta call a spade a spade. But I'm a big fan of Bakole. I think he needs to drop about 15 pounds. I like F.A. at Jabba. He's definitely put the work in. He's gotten so much better since he changed trainers and got serious about the sport. And, I'd like to see it again. But if I'm being honest, I think maybe FA. I think he edged that one. If I'm being honest.
I agree.
It says FA gave away the last couple rounds that cost him the
Mhm.
fight, made it into a draw, in my opinion. But I thought FA won. Clever, you had something on that?
No, I agree. And my thing with FA is I understand he picked up the sport relatively late. And I think he said the African bomber, something like kind of like a Wilder comparison. He had said that to Piccoli. Piccoli reminds me of Big Baby Miller before all the steroids, when he was like the up and coming heavyweight, when he was a big dude. You thought he was knocking people out. He walked them down, but he wasn't really knocking them out. He was just piecing them up. And it was weird. And FA, to me, if he really, really stood behind a jab, like one of them Larry Holmes type jabs that let you just snap your head back, you know what I'm saying? Dot your eye. If he did one of those, if he focused on a stiff, pause, hard jab,
Wow.
I paused that. Then I prefaced it. He would. I think his game be a little different because he has freaking them long limbs, those long arms, and he has power. Just he needs to channel it.
Yeah. Okay. Skywalker, I know you wanted to talk about this fight in the preview a lot. We had another close one here. Badu Jack defeated Noel Mikalian via majority decision, 115-113 on 2 cards, 114-114 draw here. But Badu Jack comes out the winner. What did you think about this fight?
It was a good fight, man. Badu Jack was game. It was back and forth. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty close fight. I feel they got it right with the decision with Badu Jack, and yeah, man, we didn't see no cut. Flood. Yeah. And no, yeah, it was okay fight. It wasn't the great, like, most exciting fight, but no knockdowns or nothing scored, but yeah, good moments in the fight.
Anyone else have thoughts on that fight?
We got I want to see how many belts has Badu Jack held, and he's one of those he's an underrated fighter. I think. I don't know if it's promotion or what. He goes in a lot of gaps in between fights, but he's grown on me as a fighter.
Isn't he like 41?
Yeah, he's up there.
Oh,
That's why I thought he'd be up out of here. I thought it was going to be see ya, Jack.
So, Badu Jack, born 31st October 1983. So yes, he's 41. Has held world titles in 3 weight classes, including the WBC super middleweight, WBA light heavyweight, and WBC cruiserweight.
That's not bad. It's not a bad resume, So
Yeah.
We'll talk about him, as a top.
Yeah. I actually had the Michael Jan dude. I had him by split decision in that fight, and I just felt like it could have just went either way.
Right.
I wasn't upset about it being either way, so I think it could have went anyway. But I had the other guy split decision.
Jack had a long layoff too, right? Was it over a year, possibly? He had a bit of a layoff as well. So that's why I kind of counted him out, because I haven't heard him around in a while. So I was like, 40, 41, hopping back in there with the young lion. Almost took a sip of my water with the cap on.
Shout out Speak Your Mind Sports
right off.
Y'all tap in with Speak Your Mind. What up? Thank you for tuning in. Y'all make sure you tap.
Appreciate you, brother.
Salute.
MK9 says, so this whole weekend with Garcia and Canelo was was a waste of time for action, but ESPN saved the day with a card that couldn't disappoint, and I don't fault Scull as he landed more than Canelo, right? So does anybody have thoughts on this comment?
I agree. My thing with that, with Scull, I totally understand where you're coming from on that one, but if you find Canelo Alvarez and you're trying to get all the belts, you got to do more than good footwork. You got to stand on yours. You got to make him look like a full all 12 rounds. You can't just go off of I'm in, I'm out. I'm in, I'm out. You got to stay in for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like you love her. Pause. Oh no, that's not a pause. It was 2 guys fighting. So I had to.
A lot of them, man, too. A lot of them were kind of just like retreat punches, So
right.
Nothing really got through. Nothing. They didn't even catch one little highlight clip of Scull cracking.
Hey, look, they're gonna have to hit the brakes on the Cuban fighters for a little while. I've seen an enormous influx of Cuban fighters, and the ones that I'm seeing have not adapted their style yet, and some of them are a bit past their prime. And unfortunately, they need to get on the brakes with all of them dudes because they are putting on some snooze fest as of lately, and they're gonna have to get with the game and catch up with the program. So I think we need to hit the brake on some of these Cuban fighters for now before we just start saying Cuban fighters are trash, because we know they ain't trash. They're just not adapted to the pro style.
I agree. I think you're right on that. And like it's Andy Cruz, and like somebody like him, a 2-time gold medalist. You think he comes in highly touted like another person who's a 2-time gold medalist. He didn't get that title shot off the bat like someone else did. And he still, what does he fight 12, fight whatever, and he's still kind of fighting with that amateur style. He's starting to sit down on his punches more now, but it's more of that point type fighting, and that doesn't work on this level. They need to start training these guys once they
if you really want to see somebody who knows how to cut the ring off very well, Rohan Polanco. Yo, the boy is a dog. Watch him cut the ring off. And he's having fun in there. Mean way too, bro. He's a mean fighter. Like, if y'all want to, everybody who fought this weekend, y'all need to go watch Rohan fight so that y'all can see how to cut the ring off.
I did a highlight video on my Instagram of Rohan's fight, man. Polanco's beast. He had a game of good ass opponent.
Yeah, that's a bad boy.
Yeah. He was having fun after like the 3rd or 4th round. I was like, oh man, he's just playing around with his food.
Man.
And dude,
that's how you play with it. If you're gonna play with it like that.
Hey guys, I gotta jump off here, bro. My bad. I gotta deal with some kids and stuff. But thank you guys.
Hey, appreciate you, Skywalker.
Bad on the Inoue. Maybe I'll type in the chat, bro, if we get a chance. We gotta find out dinner right now, and everything's late. So
okay, well, if you can, we're gonna jump on and talk about that now. So if you can jump back on, let us know, or you can text in or whatever. We're gonna jump to that right now. So you can actually stay on and give your piece real quick if you want.
Yeah, real quick. Top rank kick. Man, I'll give a real quick recap, man. Top rank fucking was badass from top to bottom, like the whole card, man. Art Barrera Jr., he was on the card. Shout out to Coach Omar. We've interviewed him in the past. He's got nothing but winning fighters. They opened up the card. He killed it. He had a final round stoppage, 6-round stoppage. Good fighter. He's from South Central Los Angeles. That's Diego Pacheco's people, man, over there. That's the same coach. And nice. So that was badass. That fight alone, I was like, damn, this is better. This is fucking great. This is better than all the main eventers. You got Art Pereira Jr. doing great. And then just the whole card from top to bottom, man, was amazing. The main event lived up to all the hype, man. Shocked the world with that knockdown. You know what I'm saying? That 2nd round knockdown with Cardenas knocking Inoue down. Yeah, just a great card, man. I gotta get off of here. Much love to everybody. Hit the like. Appreciate you, podcast, Clubber D, Papi Chunyeo. Everybody got YouTube channels on this podcast. Much love to everybody. Stay bye, babe.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you for
a good one.
All right. Thank you guys. Much love.
Hi, brother.
I'm my audience still there. All right, guys. Peace.
Yeah, Skywalker tuning in. Coming in. We always appreciate him, and we appreciate everybody tuning in to Skywalker's channel. We are going to finish up this card so you can keep hearing the good boxing action. But yes, please make sure you subscribe to everybody's channels. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a banner that I put there that has everybody's channels, everybody's @. So please make sure you tap in with everybody here and hit that like button if you're still watching. We got over 20 on the live right now. We're going to finish up this last fight and get out of here for the evening. Before we do, though, make sure tomorrow night you check out Clubber D, the Combat G, and myself. We will be doing UFC 315 preview for the weekend. So check us out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. All right, let's get into this fight. As he mentioned, right, TKO 8 by Naoya Inoue. The whole card was good, as was mentioned by MK9. The ESPN saved the weekend for this card. Skywalker mentioned that obviously Inoue came back from a knockdown. Cardenas knocked him down early in the fight, 2nd round of the fight. Now, combined with Cardenas, these 122-pounders threw 752 shots, which is more than 300 more what we just talked about with the not Garcia Romero, but with the Canelo and the Scull, right? 300 more punches. Cleverty, what do you think about that in this fight?
Well, I mean, the lightweights, they're gonna throw him in. I like the monster. He does have his flaws, and we saw it again, just like in Lewis Nery fight. You know that he's susceptible to that hook. You know, because he likes to get in the pocket and he likes to throw him. You know, they put on the card was great. The Fernando Vargas son, he put on a good performance too. Me personally, I'm kind of with, okay, what is the monster going to do? Is Inoue going to stay at 122 or is he going to move to 126? Because Shushu's already saying, "Oh, I see his flaws. I can tear him up." You know what I'm saying? Is he going to jump up to that 126, which I would love to see? You know, I want to know what's the next big thing for him? Because he's basically cleaned it out. And are we going to wait for Bam to move up and finally get that dream match, or is he going to move up and get some bigger names on his resume? But you know, they saved the weekend for boxing. It just sucked that they were going against, I forgot what playoff game that was on that night.
Yeah, and Bobby, so I mean, when he was about to hit him with that knockdown, Cardenas was snapping his head back with jabs and then just hit him with that left foot counter. But Inoue rebounded very nicely, and as we know, he is known to give some brutal knockouts, and a brutal knockout was what he did in knocking him down, brutal knockdown, excuse me, and then having that TKO 8. So what did you think about this fight?
Me personally, look, man, Inoue is not the pound for pound number one. I've been so sick of everybody trying to just get Bud off the top. Yo, until Bud loses or somebody goes out there and dominates him, that's his spot. There's no contest. There's no old boys in the witness protection program. You feel me? Like, who they gonna put him in there with? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like all the fighters that he's fought have basically been tailor-made for his style. And every now and then, a lefty will get in there and do their thing and sit him down. So I think, you know, since we call people who've been knocked down one time Chinny, I think it's time for us to start saying the boy Chinny. Huh? Yeah, he can't get out the way of the left hook. Remember that? Huh? Yeah, he's not pound for pound number one. He hasn't done enough. That's my only argument with him. I'm glad to see him here in the States. I still want to know if they're doing any testing. I hadn't heard anything about any testing prior to that fight. And, you know, shout out to Cardenas, man. He went out there and did what he could. You know, sitting back and taking shots from the monster is not the best idea. And, you know, maybe he shouldn't have swung for the fences with everything he threw, but I was just kind of hoping one of them landed. Maybe more than one.
MK9 agrees with you. Inoue isn't pound for pound after getting knocked down, twice in the last two fights, but no one's saying anything about it.
Chinny.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to be putting that Chinny. I know I've seen some people compare him to a young Manny Pacquiao before. He made that miraculous, you know, up in weight, all those divisions of fighting people at catch weights and drain them. But anyways, you know, it's hard for me to put him in there up there over Bud because one, I understand it's not his fault for his level of opposition because where he's at, but what he's doing, I'm cool with it. But you got to not get knocked down so many times if you're going to be the best. And if you're wiping out, you know, people that are not household names, and you know, like Bud, they say, oh, Bud ain't fighting about it, but he did the Earl Spence and then he, you know, Sean Porter and things of that nature. Sean Porter resume, Earl Spence's resume. Only one I can see close to that on Inoue is who? Benito Donaire, maybe. I mean, I don't really know who he fought. That's sure up there. Stevie Fulton's good. I rock with Stevie Fulton, but you know, there's not really many people. But I don't want to penalize them because that's just what's in front of them. But I still wouldn't have him over Bud. I agree with you on that one. And that Chinny label, it needs to be in conversation right now for him.
He's Chinny.
Okay.
Haney went down twice, 3 times with Garcia, and he's automatically Chinny. You know what I'm saying? And other fighters, you know, they're Chinny after going down a couple times, but him, we're not saying nothing. And he's way up here on the list.
And so, where do you put him at on your pound for pound list then right now? Both.
Damn, MK just kind of said what I was.
I mean, for me, there's only one. The pound for pound. Who is that? That person right now is Crawford.
Right.
Yeah.
But
anything else matters?
For two. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay.
I would say Crawford number one. But if I were to make a list of who I'd have, that's my top. Are we counting heavyweights? Because a lot of people don't like to count heavyweights.
No,
pound for pound is pound for pound.
I mean, I'd put Bud, then Usyk. After that, I'd probably throw in Bam up there too over Monster right now. I can't really think of anybody else in another weight class. Can't put Canelo there. Bivol, I might put him over him. Yeah, then I'll put him there. So he'd be like 5 on mine.
Okay.
Probably right there.
Josh says Inoue has beat some legit competition. Counters there.
Yeah.
I mean, he has. But
definitely.
it's just look at the other people on that list, how they match up in their succession against, with like Bud or Usyk or somewhere like that.
See, what a lot of people are confusing about the sport is what's happening with the marketing aspect. So ESPN, Disney, they got a gang of bread, bro. They can make somebody look like something they ain't. You know, forgot how Ronda Rousey was the best. She could beat Floyd Mayweather up.
I hated that.
All that talk.
That.
Like they put money behind this stuff, and unfortunately, it's unfair to everybody else. It's not an even playing field because you can take somebody like a Chocolate Latito and try to remove Floyd from the pound for pound list. You will find some little bitty dude from somewhere that nobody knows about and say that's the best fighter in the world. Then they get exposed. Every time they've done that, literally, there's been some exposure happening. Every time the ESPNs try to put some money behind somebody, that person ain't it.
Mm-hmm. Teofimo was that guy. Lomachenko was that guy.
Man, they got spoiled over there real bad. Berlanga too.
Oh, he trash.
Man, they fed them boys so much spam and cheese, bro, that they just thought that the check,
spam and cheese.
You get a check with spam.
That's a Wilder diet too.
A spam check.
Would not accept the besmirchment of the good name of the Boricua.
Extra crispy on the edges.
Josh said he takes risks some of these other fighters won't.
No, he does. I mean, I think he doesn't have a choice because they're like Bud, Usyk, all of them want to take they want to be great. A lot of these top fighters don't want to be great. I think Inoue doesn't have a choice but to take these fighters because the picking is slim where he's at. You know what I'm saying?
It's a very low weight class, and there's not very many. I mean, people in general that are that small. It's like JT size. Like you've got to be a small person to be that size of boxing. So, all right, cool. Well, hey, we really appreciate everybody that has tuned in today. Over almost 30 on the live right now. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Please make sure you subscribe to all these channels, including Josh at 86 Boxing, who wasn't able to be with us today. He has some
Josh
going on. But also check out Papi Chunyeyo on Instagram and all of the platforms as well. Clubber D, his new YouTube channel. Please check that out and subscribe as well. You can find him on TikTok at clubber.d. Don't forget tomorrow night, UFC 315 preview. Clubber D, the Combat G, and yours truly, the Sports Professor. We will be on 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you're subscribed to Ball and Buzz or you're on Let's Talk Sports, something like that, and you watch us tomorrow night when we will come in. Papi, give some final thoughts to the fans out here.
Hey, y'all, look, man, I know every day we all get bombarded with horrible news about things that are happening in politics. Let's just say this, man, you guys make sure that you take care of your families at the end of the day. If you have a job that may be at risk based off of some BS that's happening, there's a lot of avenues out here for you to get work. You can create your own avenues if you got a specific skill set. Just go out there, you know what I'm saying? Just try to create some opportunities for people and blessings come behind that. And don't have too much anxiety about what's going on because it'll all be corrected at some point.
I love Papi's final messages of the broadcast every time. Cover D, do you have a final message for the fans?
Yeah, I'm a kind of, you guys will see us tomorrow, so definitely tune in when here. So we haven't talked about UFC in a while because there ain't really been shit to talk about. But we got some juice for y'all tomorrow. Definitely want to piggyback on that. People out there, if you tune in, appreciate you. Please follow our channel. If you don't follow, shoot us a like. If you don't, at least hopefully the next time you might do it. Also, don't stress over shit you can't control. Okay, if you can't control the weather, ain't nobody out there storm from the X-Men. If you can't control another person's feelings, don't worry about them. Do the best you can do and move forward. Don't worry about shit you can't control. You trust me, you will live life a lot better. I know it's hard. It's not easy. Not everybody can do it. I can't do it all the time, but I try my best to not worry about shit I can't control. Less stress in your life.
I mean, I've known Clubber D. We've known each other for almost 35 years now, and I can tell you he's not lying when he says that. I have trouble when it comes to that. That's one of my biggest things. I focus and worry too much on the past and the future, even though those things haven't come yet. But I know he's very good at avoiding, at least as much as possible, doing that sort of thing. So yeah, take advice from both of these gentlemen who just laid good advice on y'all. Be safe, be blessed, be kind to each other. Have an amazing week. Catch us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern at Ballin' Buds, BALLAND BUDS. Hit the like if you're watching on the replay. It is invaluable to us and it's free to do. Papi Chunyeyo, we appreciate you, brother.
That's the whole.
Hey, it's always a pleasure kicking it with my brothers, man. Anytime.
Appreciate y'all.
All right.
He's with the millions. It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. Hard like winter cold. Bust these fools, anything less than killing whack rappers is a crime. I stay trying to get mine. Stacking value, packing venues, winning over time. Ain't no fine timeline. Open your eyes and looking for the best, and this is what you find. Game is only for the bold. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Introducing from parts unknown, your UFC and combat sports insider, Clubber D, the Combat G, and the Sports Professor.